Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be providing a basic tutorial on using Zoom during our MEng orientation and throughout the semester. To log into your UC Berkeley ZoomPro account, go to the Zoom portal or Zoom campus website at berkeley.zoom.us. You can sign in near the top right or under the quick links. This is where you can sign in with your CalNet ID. If you're prompted with a similar screen like this, you can sign in with single sign-on in order to access your Berkeley account. Just click Sign in with SSO and then type in Berkeley as the company domain. And you'll be taken to a similar login screen. Please note, if you have more than one Zoom account, such as a personal Zoom account that you've set up separately, make sure to check which Zoom account you're logged into before joining a class. This is because your campus Zoom account is connected to your CalNet ID. This ID permits you access to Zoom meetings in Berkeley's network, as well as certain account features that would not be available to you on a personal Zoom account. Once you're logged in, you can verify which account you're on and if it's a licensed account by looking at your profile settings. Click on the top right to confirm which email and which account you're logged into and if the account is licensed. Now that you know you're licensed to Zoom, let's talk about downloading the Zoom app. To download, you can go back to berkeley.zoom.us and click on Download the Zoom app near the bottom of the page. Then just follow the prompts. Don't forget to update the app when prompted or by checking for updates in your Zoom application options. To review and update your Zoom profile and settings, you can use the app or navigate to the profile page we looked at earlier. You can edit your profile, including adding a photo that will display if your camera is turned off during meetings. Using the navigation bar to the left, you can go to Settings to review and customize settings for any Zoom meetings you may schedule and host. This is to demonstrate how to access some of these same settings via the Zoom app. So here, again, I can verify which account, if it's licensed. I could go to Settings. Here, I have a lot of different options. Video, hello, audio, screen sharing, virtual backgrounds, profile settings. And when you click that View More Settings option in the app, it takes you back to this settings page we visited earlier. To join a meeting, you have a few options. You may do this through the Berkeley Zoom homepage. Just enter the meeting ID and, if needed, passcode. You could log in using the links on the top right. You may also join using the Zoom app. Class or meeting invites may also come in the form of a BCal invite or a B-Courses calendar invite, as well as an email invitation. In these invitations, the meeting ID and passcode that may be needed to access the meeting will be included. You can also join the meeting through a one-click process. So now that we're in the virtual classroom, let's go over some basic Zoom meeting features. First off, it's important for you to know how to mute and unmute yourself during a meeting. And a best practice is to keep yourself muting when you're not speaking. Take a look at the toolbar at the very bottom of your screen. Starting at the very left, you'll see this mute button. And this is how you can mute and unmute yourself. You can select what sort of microphone you'd like to use. For example, I have my external microphone connected here, but I can reconnect to my internal microphone if I wanted to. Next to the mute button is how you can turn on and off your camera with the start and stop video button. If you have multiple cameras, you can select which camera you want to connect with. You can also select a virtual background. Gallery view is the grid format with multiple participant thumbnails on screen. If you can't see everyone on screen at once, use the arrows on the side to switch between gallery view pages. Speaker view is another display in meetings. This displays the active speaker on the large screen and other meeting participants in smaller screens. To switch between displays, what you would do is navigate to the top of your screen here. So this says speaker view, and what that means is if I want to switch to speaker view, I would click here. And that takes us to speaker view, and to go back to gallery view, I would go ahead and click here again. Click on Participants to see a full list of all meeting participants, including what role they have in the meeting. Note some reactions that you can use that will show up next to your name on the participants list. If you are not a meeting host, the raise hand feature is a way that you can also communicate with the instructor and others in class. Note how the raised hand shows up on your thumbnail when selected. You may also use the participants list to send a participant a private or public chat. The chat feature is another way to be able to communicate during the meeting and may be monitored by either the instructor or a GSI throughout sessions. And you can also merge the chat to the meeting window. To unmerge the chat, just hit pop out, or you can also just close it. Your instructors will provide guidance on how these meeting features will be utilized in your respective classes, but it's good to just get comfortable with them and some practice in. You'll be asked to participate in a variety of different polls throughout class. These may be check-ins, icebreakers, quizzes, and other ways of gauging your participation and comprehension of class material. Share screen is a way for others or you to share your screen in the meeting. Screen shares may include a website, PowerPoint slide deck, or a video or audio clip. A virtual whiteboard may also be shared. When someone shares their screen or the whiteboard, select meeting participants may be asked to draw, type, or otherwise annotate with their cursor. Next to the rectangular green bar that indicates who is sharing their screen, go to View Options. You will see an Annotate option. Select, and you get an annotation toolbar. Breakout rooms are a way for participants to be temporarily assigned and break out into smaller groups during class. The instructional team can also join or send chat messages to different breakout rooms with additional information. When exiting a breakout room, just make sure you don't accidentally choose to exit the meeting. Here are some basic troubleshooting tips. Check and test your audio and video settings. This includes what mic and camera you're connected with and whether you've joined audio and video in the meeting. If someone can't hear you when you're speaking, you may need to unmute yourself. You may also need to adjust some of your web browser or other system privacy and security settings, including allowing Zoom to access your camera or microphone or unblocking pop-ups from Zoom. You'll want to face and look at the camera and be well lit from the front, like this first photo, but not backlit or with uneven lighting, like in the second photo, to prevent glare, unwanted shadows, or a fuzzy and distorted video screen. Wired or plug-in devices, including an Ethernet cable for internet, are recommended over wireless devices and Wi-Fi. Bluetooth, cellular, and other wireless signals may interfere with one another or impact your internet connection, especially in combination with one another. If you use wireless devices, be sure to charge your equipment ahead of class. Try not to run demanding programs on your computer or start any downloads or streaming that may drain your internet bandwidth while in class. If you share a network with others and are using Wi-Fi, remember Their internet use may impact your own. If you have more questions about using Zoom, you can contact your instructional team as well as the Student Tech Help Desk at 510-642-HELP or sts-help@berkeley.edu.